Hello guys, welcome back to the Movie Matthew channel. I have just finished watching Army of the Dead on Netflix. I'm going to give you my opinions now, spoiler free, so yeah, let's just jump straight into it then. The first thing that's very evident in this film is Zack Snyder's just having fun. Netflix have just said to him, alright mate, do whatever you want. You know, you can have a zombie tiger, do whatever you want mate, it's fine. And he's done that, he's done it, and he's done it so well. This movie is ridiculous, far-fetched, over the top, outrageous, and it is all the best for it. It is brilliantly done. It's entertaining, popcorn film, a film that you shouldn't really look too much into. It's a film that you just sit down with your mates or your other half and just enjoy. It's one of those films that you could just have a great time watching. It's a great movie for a movie night. It's brilliant, and you can just tell Zack Snyder's having such good fun filming this, and it makes me happy as a viewer watching a filmmaker have so much fun making something. You can just tell, he's just having a blast making this film, and it's just everything I would expect of a zombie heist film in Las Vegas. It's just everything you'd expect. It's crazy, it's just very entertaining. That's the I know it's a very common word to use, but it's the best word to explain this. It's just entertaining. Some films take a little bit of time to build up, some start slow and generally gradually take you up. This one doesn't. This one just shoots you straight in. The first 10 minutes of this film is probably some of the best parts of the film. The first 10 minutes are extremely exciting, and it keeps you hooked then. After those 10 minutes you are hooked on this film, and it only just gets better and better. It ramps up. It's so fast paced, action packed throughout. There's some downtime, but the downtime doesn't feel dragged. It doesn't slow down the pacing of the film, because you do need a bit of downtime at least, but it handles that very well. A bit of downtime, you know, building up a little bit, but then once they get into this quarantine zone, it's all out bedlam. You know, on the edge of your seat action, heart pumping, adrenaline racing. It really keeps you on your toes, this film. You don't know what's going to happen next, twists, turns. It has a lot of things to really like about it. Zack Snyder's take on zombies, you know, we saw what he did with Dawn of the Dead and what a great zombie film that was. And this one he took a little bit of a different take with these alpha zombies. And these alpha zombies are such a good idea. I loved how he came up with this. It's brilliant. We have a king, a queen, and basically all these little servant zombies, and they're all different. All the zombies have different personalities. They have emotions, which is strange to see from zombies. And they're intelligent, and they're not just aimlessly walking about really slow or fast and they don't really know what they're doing. You know, they've got a bit more to them, these zombies, you know, which is also a very good thing to see. I loved how he helmed these zombies, I really do. Like every great film, you need a good antagonist, and I love to have a character to hate. I love that, because when something bad happens to him eventually, which it always will do, it's satisfying. It has that satisfying moment, and there's very, very satisfying moments involving the antagonist in this, which is great, and it's a good antagonist. His motives are justified, you understand what he's doing. He pisses you off so bad. He annoys me so much in this film. There's one particular moment, oh my god, I wanted to kill him there and then. He was so annoying, but as annoying as he is, it makes the movie so much better having a character like that who's going to come in and just cause fucking chaos and just be a prick. And it's nice to have a character like that involved in the film, and he did it so well. He was a brilliant antagonist in the film, and yeah, he really added to it. It was great. The action films are helmed beautifully by Zack Snyder. This movie doesn't let up. It's just constant. The action is the eyes are glued to the screen during the action sequences in this. So many amazing moments, so amazing slow motion shots, and some great shots Zack Snyder used in this that it's hard to explain, but when you watch it, you know there's certain shots he's used that are just so well done, and there's some shots he does that are a bit problematic, like that blur he uses, that shot where he comes out of focus and in. Don't like that, and he overused it far too much. That was annoying. But apart from that, the cinematography, everything regarding Zack Snyder's camera work and what he's done in helming these action scenes was great. I like how he just, again, could just do whatever he wanted with this film. It's a zombie film. It was as gory as it comes, unforgiving, blood, gore, violence, brains splatting everywhere, blood. It was just as gory as you'd want a zombie film to be. You could tell he didn't have a studio head on his back going, right, you can't do that, oh, you can't, it's too gory, that, oh, you can't do this either, just make sure you do it like this, otherwise people won't like this if you do it like this. You could tell he didn't have that. You could tell he's just been like, you know what, I'm just going to do it how I want to do it, and he's done that. The gore, the blood added to the film so much more. Very entertaining. I loved those action sequences, helmed brilliantly. Dave Bautista, every time anyone mentions that guy's name to me, I think pro wrestler. You know, I think he was Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's hard as an actor, if you're so ingrained into something, to come out of that a bit. And in this, I was watching him, I was thinking, that's not Drax, that's not the pro wrestler, that's Dave Bautista. And that was the first time I've ever seen him in any other role where it was like that. He completely immersed himself into this film. His performance was brilliant. He really flexed his muscles, literally, so well in this film. The emotion, it required quite a lot from him, this performance, and I really managed it perfectly. It was such a likeable character. Emotions had to come out, and very serious at times. His performance was very, very good, you know. I thought when he came, it's going to be him, I thought he's going to try and be like the jokey guy, kind of like he was with Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, like comic relief kind of character, but he wasn't. He was a very serious character, actually. He wasn't funny at all, actually. I don't think he even said one thing that was funny. He was a very serious character, and he was performed brilliantly, and that was a standout performance from me. It was a great, great starring role from him, and I hope he does more like that, because he's a great actor. He's proven that in this film for me. People do have a problem with the runtime of this film. 2.5 hours long, and I looked at it, admittedly I did look at it at first and thought, that's quite a long runtime for a zombie heist film. I watched it and I couldn't disagree with more with the complaints of it being 2.5 hours long. I thought it flew by, and every scene wasn't drag, or nothing dragged for me. Nothing seemed like it was a pointless scene. Every scene seemed like it made sense. Everything worked well for me. I thought it was a great film. The length was perfect. I had one slight complaint at the end. I thought they could have chalked off 10 minutes at the end, just because I didn't like the way they ended it. But, you know, to each their own. I thought it could have knocked off that last 10-minute segment. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. There's 10 minutes at the end, which I don't think personally needs to be there. It fades to black just before that scene. I think it should have stopped there. It shouldn't have carried over for that last 10 minutes. But that's not because of the length or anything. That's just because I didn't like how they ended it. But the length, 2.5 hours, I thought was absolutely fine. Flew by, very entertaining. You know, and this, like I say, it's a film not to be taken too seriously. And it's just a film to enjoy, and because it is so entertaining, like I keep saying, it flies by and action-packed. It's got everything you want in a film, really. Right, coming on to negatives, because there's always going to have to be some sort of negative to a film like this. The biggest negative for me, and it's quite a big one for me, are the characters. There's not enough fleshing out of any of these characters. You don't care about any of them, which is annoying, because there's about 8 central characters in here that you should really care about. When they die, you should be like, oh God. Or when they're in perilous situations, you're like, oh God, please don't die. And you feel like maybe a bit emotional when something happens to them. You don't feel that. I didn't with any of these characters, unfortunately, because they didn't get fleshed out enough. And 2 hours and 30 minutes runtime of this film, they should really have spent some more time with these characters, sat them down and let them have maybe a few conversations, like a 10-minute scene even of them kind of just chilling and letting you know their backstories a bit, just so you know them and feel for them a little bit more. Didn't do that, so these characters, when they are dying or whatever, you don't really care, which is a shame. The perfect example of this is a movie called Train to Busan. If you haven't seen it, guys, please do. It's a zombie film you would love. It's my favourite zombie film of all time. I think it's brilliant. What I loved about that film the most was, there's, again, like this Army of the Dead, there's about 8 central characters here. And obviously these zombies are coming and they're in perilous situations, and some of them die and you're like, oh shit, but they're so well fleshed out. Every single one, all 8, absolutely brilliantly fleshed out. So when stuff happens, it makes you cry, it's that emotional. And because they're fleshed out and they're done so well, and when they go through character arcs, and maybe if something happens at the end that's satisfying, you're rooting for them, you're really rooting for them. When they're running past the zombies, killing zombies, you're rooting for them so much. When they die, you're gutted. didn't get that with Army of the Dead. You just didn't. It was emotionless for me watching it. And when there were scenes, particularly between Dave Bautista's character and his daughter Kate in this, he was trying to hit an emotional chord. He didn't get any emotion out of me. It was an emotionless scene whenever they had those moments that were supposed to hit, but they didn't. They didn't hit you. And that's because they weren't fleshed out enough. Their relationship wasn't fleshed out enough. The conversations weren't enough. And Kate in general, guys, I'm sorry, but Kate, the daughter, was so bad in this. She was an awful character. She was bratty, selfish, annoying, you know, always turned her nose up at everything, you know, hated her dad for no real reason. She was a prick. You know, I didn't like her at all, and I'm supposed to like this character. She's like one of the main characters you're supposed to like. I didn't like her at all. Thought she was intensely dislikable, actually. And unfortunately, yeah, those emotional scenes didn't pay off in this because they weren't fleshed out enough. It all comes down to the character development in this. Non-existent. There isn't any. And I kind of understand that there's not going to be much character development in this. I kind of get it. But if they could do it in Train to Busan, why couldn't they have done it in this? You know, why could they not have done it? And Zack Snyder's obviously trying to hit some sort of emotional chord between father and daughter, because he has those scenes where he sits them down and have those conversations. He's trying to get emotion out of the viewer. Didn't get it out of me, unfortunately. And that's the main thing I can take out of this film and say, well, you know what? They should have done that better. 2.5 hours long. There's no real excuse, really. There should have been. These characters should have been more likeable for me. But, guys, overall, this film is exciting, fun, entertaining. It's a barrel of excitement, adrenaline pumping, heart racing. Great to watch with your friends or family or other half. It's a very entertaining film, and I would implore anyone to watch it because it's very, very entertaining. I'm a sucker for just popcorn movies, entertaining movies, and this is one of them. But yeah, it does have flaws. Do those flaws really matter at the end of the day? Zombie heist film with a zombie fucking tiger in it? Maybe not. If you just want to watch a film that's entertaining from start to finish and you're going to enjoy, and you don't look too far into, then you're going to love this film. But that one thing with the characters does bother me, and that blur shot that he used a lot did also bother me from a technical camera work standpoint. But apart from that, this film is well worth the watch, guys. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10 on my scale out of 10. So yeah, guys, this has been the Movie Matthew channel. If you are new, like, subscribe, let me know what you want to see. I have been Matthew from the Movie Matthew channel, and yeah, guys, I will see you next week on my next video. I post every single week on this channel, so yeah, I will see you on the next one.